Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. For today's video, I will try my best to guide you through the task 1 wet writing. Hopefully, you are my student who is trying to deepen his or her knowledge on what I have taught you in class, or you are one of the weaker ones yang perlukan lebih guidance at your own pace with a video that you can pause and rewind as many times as you wish. And if you are new here, I hope that this video can benefit you and help you in understanding what to expect from wet writing. First things first, I am not a marker of this paper. I am not, okay? So let's start. If you are my student, I think you have received this writing formula. Dia ni macam bookmark yang ada task 1, task 2 and then some other notes about the general writing. I have compiled it into a small little piece of paper. If you are not my student, you can scan this QR code and go to directly to the document and print it out yourself that you can keep beside you whenever you try to answer the task. Okay? Okay, boleh scan QR code tu dan dapatkan benda ini sebelum kita start. Alright, format. It's either letter or email. Okay? Kalau letter, format letter tu jangan lupa dia di sebelah kanan, bukan sebelah kiri. Ingat, sebelah kanan sebab dia kasih sayang. Makan di tangan kanan, jadi dia kasih sayang, jadi dia di kanan. You just want to follow the appropriate format for this task. One thing that I want to highlight is, if ever you get the question for letter, to be on the safe side, kamu guna balik saja the same address. Ikut macam dia Kuala Lumpur jugalah. Postcode still remains the same. You change a little bit the number of the house, the neighborhood that you are in, gitu kan, macam ini kan. Kamu ikut saja, and the date jangan terlalu jauh lah. Don't go too far to the future. Contohnya macam the question is 3rd July. Janganlah sampai tiba-tiba pergi August ke September ke, macam tidak berapa appropriate lah. Even though you will say in the letter, sorry for the late reply, janganlah sampai pergi berbulan-bulan ke depan pula. Nanti basi pula. Whatever the things that you are saying will be out of context. The lengthy time spent between the two hypothetical letters kan. Jadi mungkin seminggu kah 8 Julai, your reply should be 8 Julai 2021. Begitu ya. Kalau email pula, from dengan subject. But if you want to be on the safe side, to, from and then subject. Jangan lupa untuk gunakan. Sebab when I was invigilating, menjaga peperiksaan kan, I always encounter students who do not put in their format. And then next, we will talk about the tenses that you will use in task 1. Okay? Memang like semua tenses pun ada. If I'm teaching, I would like to focus on 2 tenses, simple future, simple past tu je. Because most of my students kan bukanlah yang advanced students yang kita perlu belajar pasal perfect tenses. As long as you know the difference between simple future and simple past, you'll be okay. Sebab most of the past questions up until 2021 kan, this first session, dia mesti pasal planning or suggesting something to happen in the future. For example lah kan, the question from 2022 session 2, dia minta kamu suggest two products for online business and after you finish studies, which means that you are still studying, jadi kamu perlu plan for something in the future once you have finished your studies. At least kamu tahulah pasal future tenses macam will, I'm going to, gitulah. Kalau kamu rasa macam kamu kurang yakin, kamu boleh refer back to the notes for tenses. Tak pun Google saja, banyak itu penerangan kan. And then another tense would be the past tense, describing something that had already happened, because usually in your answers you will describe something that had happened in the past. For example, in 2021 session 3, you have to describe 2 interesting stories about the drama competition and you have to explain the challenges. Kalau itu fokusnya, kamu kena pandai lah past tense, simple past tense lah yang paling penting. Kalau kamu salah tenses, especially simple tenses, you cannot go higher than band 3. Ini dikira sebagai small mistakes pun kamu boleh buat. Kamu belum lagi betul-betul menguasai basic grammar understanding, because the lesser error that you make, the better your language marks will be. And then the tone will depend on who's the receiver of your letter or your email. It's either semi-formal or informal. Since the first time the new format came out, 2 out of the 16 task 1 questions are semi-formal. Only 2. Once is in 2021 session 1 to Miss Mariam, who was either a teacher or a tutor or a lecturer, and another is from the task 1 question 2024 session 2 to Miss Lim, who was a person from an NGO. So these 2 I regard as semi-formal. It won't be appropriate if you speak in informal tone to these 2 people. Okay, now we go to the actual answering of the question. The first thing that I need you to do is to label each item and sentence according to the paragraph. Tak kisahlah sistem macam mana, kamu punya lecturer ke tutor ke, kamu punya cikgu sudah ajar, follow that as long as you label them, because labeling is what helps you to read and give full attention to the questions and what are the tasks required of you. List the things that you have labeled down on the side of your answer or your question paper and use this list to check on whether you have fulfilled the task or not, or partially fulfilled the task later. For example, I don't know what system your teacher uses or your lecturer, but for me, this is what I use. Okay, F is for format. Jadi apa-apa situ kan, saya akan label. Nanti tulis di tepi sini lah. Kamu list tepi kan? Okay, S and then opening line. Opening line ini is something that is not the first line of the question. Okay, macam ini kan, sorry for not contacting you for some time. That is the first line of the original question kan. Jadi itu tidak dikira sebagai OL, opening line. Bukan itu. So, but we still need to label it so that we remember to include it in our answer. Lepas tu, saya akan label lah setiap satu sentence tu satu label. Okay. Kenapa? Supaya kita remember lah to respond to every line of every paragraph and respond to them and then develop my response. Macam mana kamu punya sistem? It depends on you. Kalau saya, sebenarnya dalam kelas saya guna macam biasa lah, paragraf 1 ayat A, paragraf 1 ayat B. Begitu kan? Tapi for the sake of this, trying to be different lah kononnya kan, different from my own class, saya letak sini satu-satu. Maknanya perenggan 1 ayat 1, perenggan 1 ayat 2, perenggan 2 ayat 1, perenggan 2 ayat 2, perenggan 3 ini lagi satu kan, perenggan 2 ayat 3. Ini you see this purple arrow. What do you think is referring back to? I think it would be nice to organize a party for him. Itu adalah kiranya an extended sentence from these 2. I think it would be nice to organize a party for him. Dia macam extension saja. Dia bukan betul-betul satu idea yang baru. Jadi saya anggap dia 1. Perenggan 2 ayat 3. Okay. Seterusnya lah sampai ujung. Lepas tu sini ada CL. CL itu ialah closing line. Closing line. And then SO, sign off di bawah sini. Jadi sudah saya label semuanya. Saya akan salin semula di tepi ni dan tick lah as I go. Saya tick apa yang saya sudah respond dan apa yang saya sudah include in my own answer. Remember to give attention to the notes right here at the right hand side. Kamu kena, you have to use the same exact word for each of the response. Contohnya, perkataan FIN ini, fine ini adalah response kepada satu ayat di dalam perenggan 1 ini. Which one is it? I'm sure you can think logically. Fine would be an answer for how is everyone at home. Jadi bila kamu respond, how is everyone at home? Kamu mau respond kan? Mesti respond dengan fine. Okay. Janganlah tukar perkataan lain. Tak payahlah. Guna sejak benda yang ada di situ. Everyone at home is fine. Dan seterusnya, good idea tu yang mana? Good idea tu adalah response kepada it would be nice to organize a party for him. What do you think? Okay, dia tanya kita, what do you think? I think it's a good idea to be organizing a party for him. Gitu. Dan seterusnya sampai tepi ya. Okay, jadi itu adalah task pertama yang kamu perlu buat. You have to label them and make sure you pay attention to the notes at the right hand side of the question paper. Okay, contoh lah. Okay, kita sedang menjawab ini. The first thing kita ada adalah format itu di sini ya. Format sama ada to subject ataupun to from subject ataupun letter, address and then date. Ingat tu format. Tak pula tertulis di sini. And then kita ada salutation. Salutation itu hi, hello, dear. Teacher bagi kepada student teacher 3 pilihan ini saja. And the name. Contohlah kalau dalam soalan ini kan Emilia. Penulis asal tu adalah Emilia. Jadi kamu mau membalas balik kepada dia kan. Jadi kamu kena Emilia. Tak boleh salah ejaan pun. Salah ejaan saja tak boleh pergi higher band. Make sure it's correctly spelled. And then opening line di sini ya. Kalau kamu nampak di sini kan ada apa ni, saya salah tulis CL pula. Punya OL. As long as it is different than the original's first sentence. How are you? Thank you for your letter. Thank you for writing this email. I'm sorry for the late reply. Itulah, ini yang saya ajar student saya. Boleh aja as long as it is different. Okay, itu sudah, kita sudah cakap pasal format, kita sudah cakap pasal opening line, salutation and then opening line kan. Okay, sekarang kita cakap pasal the response. Okay, like I have mentioned just now, be careful with notes. Use the same words given. If it's sure, you should accept. If it's say they're sorry, you have to decline or give bad news. If the task is to explain or describe, you have to give details and description. Okay? Kalau benda di sini, dia cakap describe. Dia bukan setakat kasih tahu. Kau mesti terangkan. And kalau macam dia cakap give 2 examples. Give 2 examples lah. Tak boleh 1. Mesti 2. Okay, kalau teacher ajar student teacher to give feelings first. Responding through feelings. Okay, ada saya senaraikan di sini. I agree that, I understand that, I am glad that, I am happy. Sebab I want my students to respond to every single sentence even though it is not listed in the notes here at the right. Dia nak guna, dia bukan untuk notes. Tapi dia kena juga respon. Jadi untuk selamatkan diri, kita tidak tertinggal apa-apa isi, kita respon je kepada semuanya. Jadi macam mana kamu mau respon? Kamu gunakan feelings. Contohnya, kalau orang tu bagi tahu something yang happy, oh aku keluar dengan mamaku minggu lepas. Jadi kau pun cakap, I'm happy that, and then you repeat the exact information that is given to you. Kebanyakan pelajar, biarpun pelajar tu sangat hebat bahasa Inggeris, inilah masalahnya. Masalahnya ialah dia tidak beri konteks kepada respons dia. For example kan dia cakap, orang tu bagi tahu, I went out with my mother last week, we spent some time together. Maksud kita sebagai menjawab soalan ni, kita nak boleh cakap, oh, that's good news. You don't give context. Itu masalahnya. Jadi, if this is a reality, okay, you are really answering this email or this letter, if you don't give context, macam mana orang yang baca tu balik, tahu apa yang kau cakap? I'm glad for that. I'm glad. Glad for what? You have to give context. Walaupun orang tu yang tulis pertama, dan kamu respon kepada apa orang tu cakap, kamu kena bagi konteks. Okay. Jadi, ulang balik saya lah. Okay, contohnya ya. Ini perenggan kedua ayat pertama ni. I saw your pictures holding the trophy on Facebook. Okay, that's the original sentence from the question. Jadi dia akan respond dengan I am glad that, and you have to repeat the sentence. I'm glad that you saw our picture holding the trophy on Facebook. Astaga, kenapa aku ni? Dah habis ditulis. Faham kan ni? Faham? Pause di sini, kau rewind. Dengar balik apa aku cakap. Lepas kita respond, every time we respond, we have to develop. Apa maksudnya develop? Develop ialah ask yourself question to further elaborate the idea that you have given in the response. Contohnya ya, macam yang tadi tu, I'm glad that you saw our picture holding the trophy on Facebook. You focus on answering kenapa dulu. Kenapa kau glad you saw the pictures? Contohnya aku cakap, I'm glad that you saw your picture holding the trophy on Facebook because I want to share our happiness with you since you didn't get to join in the team. Contoh lah. And you don't have to always use because. So kalau teacher kan, teacher nasihatkan murid-murid teacher untuk separate the two. The response and the development, don't make it into the long one sentence. So kalau dia separate, dia tidak perlu guna because balik-balikan. This is because. Tak perlu pun boleh. Contohnya ya, I'm glad that you saw our picture holding the trophy on Facebook. I just want to share our happiness with you since you didn't get the chance to join the team. Contohnya. Okay, every sentence must have one sentence as a development. Every response must have one sentence as a development. But for notes, it must have more than one, which means 2 or 3 or more. Tapi you have to be aware of the time as well lah. Kalau kamu tidak ada cukup masalah juga. So, watch out for your time, the time that you spend to answer this question. At the same time, you want to fully develop your idea. Contohlah, kamu boleh dapat ini daripada saya punya list of materials. Ini ni, saya buat dia jadi macam table ni untuk memudahkan pelajar teacher nampak, oh setiap kali satu sentence itu adalah kira sebagai satu soalan. Okay, jadi kita perlu respon kepada soalan itu dan kita perlu develop. Okay, nampak yang kuning ni? Pay attention to the yellow columns here. Did you go shopping with your mom? Itu adalah soalan asal. Respon kita adalah no. Sebab di sini kan no, nampak notes ni? No, I didn't get to go shopping with my mom as planned earlier last week. Itu saya punya respon. Dan saya punya development adalah she had to change plans and went to a wedding ceremony instead. Ada kan? Itu kan menjawab kepada soalan kenapa? Kenapa kau tak jadi pergi shopping with your mom? Sebab dia pergi bla 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 gitu kan. Is this good enough? Yes, it's good enough because you have a response and you have a development. But because this is note, teacher mau kamu panjangkan sikit development tu jika kamu ada masa dan jika kamu ada kemampuan. No, I did not get to go shopping with my mom as planned earlier last week. She had to change plans and went to a wedding ceremony instead. But she said that we will go to the mall the following week. We still need to look for new rugs at the mall. So not going at all is not an option. Panjang sikit kan? Dia macam 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 ayat untuk satu soalan. Gitu. Itu yang terbaik lah. Kalau kamu ada masa dan kamu ada kemampuan. Last one, closing line. Pelajar teacher ni kadang entahlah. Tempat lain dia nak panjang. Tiba-tiba closing line dia kasih panjang. 2 ayat pula. Tak perlu. Pendek dan simple saja. For example, see you soon. Hope to hear from you soon. Let me know what you think. Kalau kau bagi suggestion before that, you can use let me know what you think. Tengok appropriate context lah. Okay, kalau kau cakap see you soon. Oh, sebenarnya orang tu kau nak mau jumpa pun. Tak ngam juga kan? You pay attention to the context. Kalau ngam, guna. Yang pentingnya dia simple dan pendek right at the end, which is separate from the last paragraph punya response and development. Dan last kali sign off, the name must be readable. Kalau contohnya kamu ialah Ryan, jadi masa kamu sign tu, pastikan kamu punya signature tu mesti boleh dibaca dengan mudah. Jangan tengok macam YB pula kau menyanyi. Jangan. Tijay, thank you. If you have any question, you can post a comment or you can contact me in other platforms such as Instagram or through email ataupun Telegram. Thank you very much and all the best for your MUET 2026 session 2.